Well, hello. Again, I'm back with another update. I'm facing the camera on this video. I'm back in my room now. I did not get caught out in that storm. I got back in time. It wasn't till another hour that the rain actually started. So I made it back to the room in time. Didn't get wet. But what I'm going to talk about this time is I've spent the last 10 or 15 minutes analyzing the tropics in Invest 92L, and I wanted to share some interesting observations about that weather system that are very interesting. This system came off the coast of Africa 2 to 3 days ago, moving west across the Atlantic. They're projecting it to become a major hurricane later in the week. I am analyzing this system. It is a very, very big weather system for the tropics. Looking at the size, it does have a circulation to it. It covers, it would cover the whole eastern U.S. in size right now. However, the interesting thing about this system is, right now at least, it's not concentrating into a smaller area. It's remaining it's very large. It covers a large area of the ocean. So thus, it's not at this point developing into an actual hurricane. There definitely is a very big circulation in place. And it's located, the center, from what I could see, it's located about 10 degrees north latitude, which is pretty far south for a tropical weather system. However, the spin is very impressive. The circulation, the area that the circulation covers is very, very large, extending down to the equator. There are even some clouds developing right on the equator from this weather system. So what is going to happen with it? We know that in years past, a system like this would probably become a Cat 5 hurricane. Will this system become a Cat 5? At the moment, interestingly enough, up till now, I do not see this storm or this system becoming concentrated. It covers a very large area, just like a regular low pressure system in the winter covers a relatively large area, which is why the winds don't ever really get too destructive in these systems most of the time, because they cover a very broad area. And what I wonder is, would this be more of what we would see in a global cooling world, where these systems may still form, but because the high pressure is weaker, that these low pressure systems could actually expand and cover a broader area of the tropics, to where instead of being a couple of 100 miles from one end to the other and having the winds all concentrated in those couple of 100 miles, instead these systems would be more like 500 to 1,000 miles in width, cover a much larger area, and because of that, the winds would never get very strong in these systems, because they cover such a broader area. as we see in the wintertime with regular low pressure systems. So I am going to be watching this system very closely to see what it does as it moves across the Atlantic west, and because I have never really seen a system this huge in the tropics that covers such a circulation that covers such a large area at once like this. Um, I just find it very intriguing. I find it very interesting. I'm going to be watching this system very closely. I mean, is it going to stay that way and become a new type of tropical weather system that remains huge but doesn't concentrate into huge winds? It remains over a larger area. Are they even experimenting with these systems? Are they doing something to diffuse them? Well, that I don't think is happening. I think it's more, if anything, because the high pressure system, global cooling becomes weaker, these lows can expand out over a larger area. And so that seems to make sense, that explanation. But again, I really am curious as to what this system is going to do in the next few days. Because again, I have followed the weather for a long time, and I have not ever seen a system in the tropics that covers this much of an area of circulation, this huge. So is this going to concentrate into a Cat 5, or is this just going to remain the way it is and move across the ocean and perhaps dump tons of rain on the Caribbean next week, but not much in the way of wind, and eventually perhaps, like this last weather system has done here in Florida where I'm at, dropping tons of rain but not really becoming anything terribly intense. Yes, I'm very curious to see what this is going to do. Thought I'd share my thoughts on Invest 92L. I will be back soon.